I'd like to give a quick translation into English, what we just made in our press briefing. According to the meeting yesterday between the acting Thai Prime Minister or the Deputy Prime Minister rather, with the Prime Minister of Cambodia, and the event was hosted by the Malaysian Prime Minister in Putrajaya in Malaysia yesterday. Both sides agree to ceasefire at 2400 hours or at midnight today, and Thailand affirms that it has strictly adhered to the ceasefire agreement by halting all hostilities in every area immediately upon the specified time, in full commitment to the joint pledge made by both governments. However, after the ceasefire came into effect, Cambodian forces continued to launch attacks into Thai territory at multiple locations. These actions are considered a deliberate violation of agreement and a serious breach of trust that should exist between neighboring countries. As a result of Cambodia's actions, Thailand found it necessary to respond under its rights to self-defense as recognized by international law. We would like to reaffirm that the Thai side did not use force for aggression, but rather to defend national sovereignty and ensure the safety of its citizens. Additionally, it has been observed that Cambodian forces use ancient heritage sites as shields, which constitutes a violation of their obligations under the United Nations UNESCO Cultural Protection Framework. The second point was on the summary of the conflict situation between Thailand and Cambodia as of the 29th of July 2025, and it was recorded at 0600 hours or 6 a.m. this morning. It was reported that Thailand has been able to secure areas under the Thai control, totaling 11 locations, namely Pu Ma Kheur, Chong An Ma, Ta Mueun Thom Temple, Ta Kwai Temple, Chong Bok border area, as well as Don Truan, Sattasom, Chong Jom, Chong Sai Taku in Ban Kruot, Previa area, as well as Plan Yao. So these are the 11 locations that Thai Armed Forces has been able to secure. The total number of evacuees amount to 188,729 people. This is the latest count that we have received in terms of the evacuees or displaced persons. In terms of the civilian impact summary, the total injured and casualties we have received in the Thai civilians are 53 people, constituting fatalities of 15, seriously injured 12, moderately injured 13, and slightly injured 13. Affected healthcare facilities have totaled 20 locations altogether, with the fully closed hospitals and healthcare facilities 13 locations and partially closed facilities of 7 locations. And according to the ceasefire agreement reached yesterday, a discussion was held earlier this morning between the commanders or the field commanders of both sides. These are namely the area commanding generals of both sides, and obviously they have come with some of the operational framework agreed upon to include the following 5 points, which are to ceasefire immediately, no attacks upon civilians, no reinforcement of troops, no movement of existing forces, troops must remain in place, and fifthly, both sides are to draw up guidelines of returning the sick, the wounded, the dead, and those detained to their respective sides. And we also would like to emphasize on the issues of cyber attack, cyber security aspect as well. Thailand has in recent times been under attack of cyber safety or cybersecurity. So we would like to inform the general public to be aware of this issue and report of any cyber attack to the local authorities, namely the Ministry of Digital and Economy in this aspect, or the DE Ministry. So any reports of any cyber attacks, please report to the local authorities immediately and we'll take care of it. So thank you very much for your attention. Now I'll pass the floor to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs representative.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon to our international friends tuning in today. Let me begin by sharing a very important development from the foreign affairs dimension, and that is the special meeting that was hosted yesterday by Malaysia to address the border situation between Cambodia and Thailand. Let me start by emphasizing, as our spokesperson for Security Affairs has just informed, that Thailand is adhering strictly to the ceasefire. Unfortunately, we have been forced to respond to continued attacks on our sovereignty and territorial integrity by the Cambodian armed forces merely in a few hours after the ceasefire took effect. We call upon Cambodia to abide by and strictly implement the ceasefire. Let me underline that the Thai side sent our delegation to yesterday's meeting for the Thai government to state our positions clearly, particularly that what has transpired along our common border in the past few weeks, whether in relation to the violation of our sovereignty, the loss of lives, both military and civilian, the hardships faced by our people along the border, the landmine incidents, and the threats and provocations, that they should not occur again. We also called on Cambodia to look after the safety and well-being of Thais in Cambodia, and Thailand will certainly do the same for Cambodians living in Thailand, all of which was in order to protect our interests at that meeting. At the same time, Thailand also expressed our readiness and good faith in jointly finding a solution to the current border tensions. We view the ceasefire agreement reached yesterday by both sides as a first step, and an important one at that, to lead us to restoring calm, security, and stability to our common border. In addition to the actual text of the joint press release, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs would like to highlight one very key outcome for Thailand, and that is the resumption and re-engagement in bilateral frameworks, as we are pleased to see that the informal consultations have already taken place between the area commanders of both sides this morning, and there are upcoming meetings, especially the upcoming GBC meeting on the 4th of August and the JBC meeting scheduled for September later this year. This is what the Thai side has been calling for all along, and therefore we are pleased to see its inclusion in the joint press release that we achieved yesterday. Most importantly, however, the return home of displaced citizens who have had to leave their homes and seek temporary refuge in shelters is another very important development for us. But exactly when they will be able to do so will still depend on the situation on the ground. Going forward, Thailand will continue to look for good faith implemented by Cambodia, including by ceasing attacks, especially those on civilian targets, as the ceasefire must take place on the basis of international law, including international humanitarian law. However, in this moment, in the early days of the ceasefire, the situation is still fragile. As I mentioned earlier, Thailand is unfortunately still responding to attacks. Agency on the ground will continue to monitor and verify the implementation of the ceasefire to ensure they are achieved in practice towards the eventual, and I hope sooner than later, return to a situation of normalcy. We thank the countries who have placed importance on this implementation phase as much as we do. Final remarks from me. Let me end today by emphasizing that Thailand continues to maintain utmost priority on protecting the sovereignty, territorial integrity, national interests, and safety and security of the Thai people. Thank you very much for your attention.
ครับก็ฝากนิดเดียวครับก็คืออย่าลืมติดต่อหรือติดตามนะครับข้อมูลข่าวสารต่างๆข้อเท็จจริงที่เราพยายามจะโพสต์เข้าไปใน Facebook Page ของทางศูนย์เรานะครับก็คือชื่อตาม Facebook Page ก็คือศูนย์เฉพาะกิจนะครับชายแดนไทยกัมพูชานะครับทีมไทยแลนด์ก็ฝากทางพี่น้องประชาชนและพี่น้องสื่อมวลชนช่วยติดตามตรงนั้นด้วยนะครับเพราะว่าข้อมูลต่างๆเนี่ยเข้าใจดีว่ามีความหลากหลายและมาจากหลายช่องทางมากนะครับฉะนั้นข้อเท็จจริงที่จะปรากฏเนี่ยจะมาจากทาง Facebook Page นี้เท่านั้นนะครับก็ฝากด้วยนะครับก็ขอบคุณครับสำหรับการแถลงข่าวในวันนี้สวัสดีครับ
ขอบคุณค่ะสวัสดีค่ะ